Today we're going to be going over all the clocks in my collection. So without further ado, let's go. So first clock in my collection is this spiral quartz clock. I got this from a friend for my birthday last year. I don't know where he got it from, but he got this clock for $90. So I don't know. One of the clocks are off right now. And over here we have my Saturnian 35 day. I got this clock from a place called Foshees Jewlers, which is in Lakeland, Florida. That's where I go to get most of my clocks. Either that or I'll name off the second place where I get my clocks so I get to it. So yeah. Then over here is a quartz cuckoo clock. I got this for Christmas from my grandparents. They got this from a Amish store in Pennsylvania where they have cuckoo clocks. Then over here is my curio cabinet case wall clock. I got this from my other grandparents for Christmas this year. And over here we have my Michi wall clock. I got this from Foshees Jewelers once again. I've known the owner there ever since I was 6, and he gave this clock for me for free since it doesn't really run that well. Excuse me. But yeah. Then we got one of my favorite clocks in my collection, my Howard Miller 620-134. I got this clock from the Antique Mall in Lakeland for $90. I'm sorry, $92. This clock usually goes around for $310 on eBay. Then over here, we got this Westminster clock I got from my dad's. He didn't want it anymore. And over here, I got this clock, this Angler Coast clock from Tennessee last year when I went up there for a vacation at a knife store. So yeah. And over here we have my Waltham 31 day wall clock. I got this clock when I was way younger from a friend. Really nice clock. And then next to it, this isn't a clock in my collection. This is actually a friend's clock I'm trying to repair. Still working on it, just gotta give me time. Then over here we have my Western German triple chime wall clock. I got this clock for Foshees Jewelers for $60, which is surprising because triple chime clocks go around for $500 to what could be up to $5,000. I actually got really lucky. I got this clock for cheap, but then again, I've known the owner ever since I was little. And over here, I know I probably have a lot of questions on what kind of grandfather clock is this? And is it a Daniel Dakota? It is not a Daniel Dakota, but if you look at the face, it says quartz. So this is a quartz grandfather clock. And like the presidential collection of Howard Miller, they got glass panels on the side so you can look into the movement. And I got this clock from my grandmother a few years back. It costed her around $200. I actually went with her to buy this clock. This is actually my first and probably only grandfather clock I'll ever have. Unless I find one for cheaper or cheap. Or I might get a Daniel Dakota. So yeah. Then over here we have my Howard Miller 625-295. This is a battery operated clock. I got this clock from a neighbor who didn't want it anymore. It was sitting on the porch, and I asked them, I said, could I have it? And they said I could. I got this clock a few years back, so this clock isn't really new. I just decided to put it in my collection because it's been in my closet, and I got sick of it just sitting there. Which is actually where my Lucky Strike regulator is at now. It's having problems again, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that clock. Then over here we have my mouth drop dial wall clock. I got this clock from Foshees Jewelers for $50. He said if I could get it running, I'll keep it for $50. But if I have to come back for him to fix it, he's gonna cost me $300 because the clock is around $300. Then over here we got my Waltham 31 day My clock's gonna start going off. We got my Waltham 31-day metal clock. I got this clock from foshees Jewlers again. I got it for free as a birthday present. And there goes my Howard Moore State Borough, which I'll go over. And since, once again, I know the owner, he gave it to me as a birthday present. So, yeah. Then over here, we got a Linden Bim Bam mantle clock. I got this clock from the Antique Mall for $30. A nice clock. And then over here, this isn't really a clock, but I do like to count in my collection. This is my fake refrigerator magnetic cuckoo clock. This is a clock I got when I was 5 from when I vacationed up to Pennsylvania. I got it from the Pennsylvania Amish store, which is where my quartz cuckoo clock came from. But yeah. Then over here we have my Howard Miller alarm clock. I got this clock for my parents for my birthday. Then over here we have my Smith's Enfield mantle clock. I got this clock from foshees Jewlers for free since it wasn't running. I get a lot of clocks for free from it, but once again, I know the owner. I'm not going to go over my watches. That will be for another video. So yeah. Over here is my sand timer. I got this from my grandmother for Christmas. I do count this as a clock because it does keep time. Well, it counts down time. Then over here we got my gear clock I got from my grandmother. The chain runs. I don't have a battery in it right now. I'm going to get one. Then over here, I got it bent down. Okay. I got a Lacurian anniversary clock, which I got from a store, which I knew the owner's from. And I went to use the bathroom one day, and I found this clock lying in a box, another anniversary clock. They said I could have it, like only one, and I let a customer have the other one. So I took this one, and I'm very happy I chose this one, because I don't even think the other one worked. So yeah. Then over here we have my quartz crystal clock. I got this from my dad. Again, he got this from his dad when he was up in Georgia. So yeah. Then over here we have my little kitchen clock I got from the care center for $10. Then over here is my in special appropriate to the Queen mantle clock. It's a battery operated. It doesn't chime, so I got this clock for, let me see, it tells me $4. I got this from the care center. And then over here is my Howard Miller State Borough. And then this is where I got from. I got from foshees Jewlers. If y'all want to know more about him, here's his information. You could call him at 863-686-3479. And his address is 3880. I'm sorry, wrong one. His address is 943 E.E. Parker Street in Lakeland, Florida. So, yeah. And that's actually where I got this clock from. Well, my dad got it for me for my birthday. And the clock owner says that he's known me. And he said this is a clock that I would want. And I was actually really happy when I got this clock. As I go on a lot of clock collectors' channels, and a lot of them don't have the clocks that I have. So I guess my clock collection is a little bit more rare than them. I'm not going to brag. Well, whatever. Over here, I'm going to have to turn on my flashlight. Over here is my clock that is broken. I got this clock for Christmas. I need to get it fixed. It keeps breaking. Well, I'm just like about ready to give up on it. I'm about to call it quits. So yeah. Then over here is my Superman clock I got from Walmart when I was 6. I'm not going to give out my age right now because, well, there's a lot of people and there's dangers of YouTube. So yeah. And that is all the clocks in my collection.